All right, first step is going to be subdividing, or not subdividing, sorry, deconstructing the original panel. Okay, panel meaning the subdivided panel. So what I'm going to do for that, in order to kind of keep true to the intent of the exercise, so to speak, I guess. Oh, I lost track of which one I was pulling. Yeah, that one. Okay. So this subdivide surf is the one that we're going to work off of. Okay. So that's our original surface that's originally been subdivided. Copy and paste and just pull it down to the bottom. You see how we're generating different ideas now? So now rather than going all the way back to that original reference and muddying that up with more wires, I can just copy this wireless reference down and say, I want to start a new idea based off of my subdivided surface. Right? Pretty clean, I think. So let's begin this new idea. In order to do that, we need to turn off other information that's going to confuse us. And so I'm not interested right now in anything but my subdivisions. In fact, actually, there is one I am interested in. Let's turn back on this. Oh, whoops, not that one. Turn back on the extrusion for the waffle frame. We're going to need that. That's the only one. So all I want to see are the new subdivision surface reference and the original waffle frame reference. So while you're doing that, I'm going to explain what we're going to do. Okay? Never mind. I'll give you a moment to catch up. So, give me just a quick hands up if you're ready to go for me to start developing this definition. Okay. I'm going to take a quick swing back in that corner of the room and then I'll get us going again. All right, let's jump back into this idea now. We have our extrusion and we have the subdivided surface. Now here's where I really need to get you to pay attention. Okay. We're going to break down each of the panels into 4 corner points, right, the vertices of each of these panels. Then we're going to reorganize and restructure them so that we can create a surface, a triangulated surface, and bend that surface outward, or rather pull one of the points out, so that it creates a subtractive volume that will kind of pull out that underneath corner, right? So it's the alternative side to that. So we're trying to create the volume in there that cuts it out, but we need to triangulate it first. So first things first, we need to deconstruct this B-rep. Okay, so that's under surface analysis, deconstruct B-rep. And I think this is the first time we're really using it for something other than just grabbing some geometry. But now you can turn this off. You don't need that anymore. The original subdivided surface. So from this part gets very a little bit confusing for first-time users. Okay, we need to restructure the data points for each new surface that we create and then extrude. Here's what we need to do. We're going to display, under the Display tab, under the Vector panel, we're going to grab a point list and plug that into the vertices output into P. Then you'll have to put a slider on there. I usually, when I'm doing point lists, do a slider of 0 to 5. It'll generally cover a range of how big those numbers are going to become. But this is what we get. It's kind of hard to see. I'm a little bit lazy about this in the sense that rather than isolating one panel to study, I usually just pop it up here and find something that has high contrast that I can actually read. Like I can look at this top right panel here and I see a cyan 0, 1, 2, 3, right? I can see that here. I don't need to break it out and find one panel. But you probably do, right? This is a little confusing to watch, isn't it?
Yes.
So here's what you do. If your points list is showing all of these panels, what we want to do is grab the first panel in the list. That's it. Because when you look at the information that's being given, it's just a bunch of subdivided panels. Let's look at it that way, right? It's just a bunch of subdivided panels like that. So we are going to, we don't want to flatten that, do we? Yeah, no, that's fine. First item in the list. Yeah, we're going to do it as a side thing. Pull this down a little bit and give us some room. So unfortunately, here's what's kind of confusing. If I do set under the set tab and list, and I grab list item, what this is going to do is you give it an index value, and it's going to feed through whatever item in that list is corresponding to that index value, right? It's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple idea. So if I say I just want the first panel, but I'm going to plug vertices in, right? I just want my first 4 items. So first meaning an index of 0, right? Because indices always start at 0. I plug that in, and then I plug it into points, and that's what I get. Now that's not what I need. I get that because the data is structured like this. And you don't have to put this panel in, guys. I just want you to see it, okay? The data is structured like this. You have every panel's set of vertices, right? So you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So when I plug in list item 0, rather than giving me all of the vertices of index 0's face, this one, it gives me index 0 for all of the faces. Okay, so rather than, if I really need to see it on one panel, I actually need to put it on the face, and then I need to deconstruct. Sorry, let me go back. Yeah, sorry. I really need to plug in faces into list item, and that's going to return to me one face, but that list actually needs to be flattened because technically each one of those is its own index value, right? Because it's grafted. We could dig into that if you want. Just make sure you flatten this, and that's going to give you one surface, which coincidentally needs to be deconstructed, and then you can actually analyze the vertices of that one. You see why I'm lazy about it? So that's what I did. Okay, so this is why I'm a little bit lazy, because in order to isolate one set of vertices off of one surface of a set of surfaces, I have to first isolate one surface, then deconstruct that surface, then analyze the points. That's going to give me these numbers, which are really easy to read, right? 0, 1, 2, and 3. That's pretty easy for me to read when it's just one. But personally, on a personal note, I don't have that big of a problem myself reading it like this and just finding one that's high contrast, like this corner. 0, 1, 2, 3. I can kind of get it with that. But you might not. That's why I'm giving you this.
Is the yellow thing a panel or is it a...
It's a panel. Yeah, good question. Okay, so get to this point, and then we'll continue on with the reconstruction process. Yes? Sorry, guys, if somebody's asking a question, I can't have you side chattering like that. Yeah?
If we do it that way, does it mean we can only work on that box? Since that's something with numbers on?
Nope, it'll work on any one of them. So let me do a slider, 0 to 10, just as an example. Plug that in, zoom out. I can slide this around to any one of these. They're all the same in this one, but yeah. So I just did this because it doesn't matter which one, so I'll just pick the first one. Any other questions? Yes?
When listing items good.
I'll come check out and troubleshoot. Troubleshoot?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right there.